Hello everyone, and welcome to Neoverse, a deck-building roguelike RPG. In other words, a game I originally had no interest in until about a month ago. I was so burnt out on card games that I wasn't even looking at Arena on the computer for a long time. However, due to intervention from a certain somebody, QBBs, you might have heard him from the Risk of Rain 2 playthrough that's up on the channel, he mentioned this game and told me that I would probably like it. Well, it was on sale with all the DLC under $15. I picked it up and I immediately fell in love with it. It was essentially a Slay the Spire clone, but had more to it, and we'll get into that once we get into the actual gameplay. However, I just wanted to use this moment to thank QBBeast, say this is all thanks to him, and my pants are terrified because of it. Alright, without further ado, let's launch into a new journey. Now, upon startup, you have a cutscene, and then you are followed to pick Ancient Naya. You only get one deck at the start, which is Shoot. However, after you beat the first boss of the game, you unlock Claire, the Paladin. And then after you beat the third boss, you unlock Helena, the Summoner. Which you might have noticed I got the wings on her. Well, that's part of the gear, which we'll get into in a moment. I thought I took those off. But yeah. Essentially, this is what you start with. Nothing special, just shooty shooty bang bang. However, if you have the DLCs, you also get the 3 DLCs. Yeah, in my opinion, her base look is her best. Until I see this one, which I can't. You might have noticed I didn't touch on this. That's because to get this costume, for any of the ladies, you have to beat it on something called Transcendent Universe. Think of it like New Game Plus, which you can't, of course, get until after you beat New Game. Which, when you activate that, you have different levels that you can go through, each one with increasing difficulty, and you get all the ones prior to it as well. So if you choose number 9 here, you get 1 through 9 all in one. However, for the first 3 episodes, it's just going to be one playthrough of each of the characters to give an idea of what you're in for, with their most basic deck. This is not a part of a new journey, but because of the last time I played, AI White Candy here is here to say, here are the things I can supply using the energy from the previous journey. We will prepare and leave once you've made your choice. You can either get 3 skill points, which we'll get to that in a moment, as well as select 1 card to remove. For this argument, we're just going to take the skill points. Alright, so let's take a moment to look at our deck. It's a very, very basic deck. You get 3 attack cards, which do exactly as they say. They cost 1 energy. We'll get into what energy means. And you do 3 damage. Then you have 3 defend cards, which is the exact opposite. You gain armor, which we'll get into that once we get into the actual gameplay. Enhanced Magazine here is the most interesting card out of the bunch because you can see that it says it gives you 3 armor, just like defend, but also gives you a shoot card. What is a shoot card? Well, it is a gun card that allows you to shoot for 3 damage for no cost. However, the card is unstable, so once you use it, it's gone. And automatic fire, it does 1 damage 5 times. There is a big difference between saying it does 1 damage 5 times and doing 5 damage. And you might have noticed it also gives overheat, which is one of her specialties, where over time she accrues heat from weapons and such, and once it hits 5, she gets an overload. Now, an overload is a debuff or a hindrance card in your deck. And we'll explain why that's actually a good thing once we get there. However, let's actually just get into this, which our first mission already sucks. Renew the data store twice. Which the data store you can access anytime, which is a big change from Slay the Spire, which I also got that on sale as a comparison. I'm probably going to launch a Versus series at some point between the 2 games, however. This is one of the big differences that you can access the store at any time. Here you can buy new cards, reset the store, get more skill points, which now I can also explain skill points real quick because we have 3. This is the biggest difference between Slay the Spire and Neoverse, and in my opinion gives Neoverse the edge, is different skill trees. Starting out, you're just going to have straight across like so, 5 across. These are not going to be open. However, you can actually click through, see which ones you have unlocked that level, and if you complete a row across these first 4, you get the option to unlock the 5th, which tend to be really, really good. For instance, one of my favorites, multiple arithmetics. Gain 1 armor whenever a card is played. That means any card gives you shield. So you would have to complete these 4 before it to get it. So what do we exactly get? We get Coolant, which is gain 5 armor whenever a target inflicted with radioactivity is defeated. Now radioactivity is her other kind of debuff. It's essentially poison. Every turn they take a certain amount of damage. Of which it can be upgraded after you buy it to gain 8 armor instead. Rapid Cooling, -1 overheat at the end of every turn. Or you can upgrade it to -2. Some builds do rely on less overheat. I'm not a big fan of them. So I might just end up ignoring multiple arithmetic this run. We'll see though. Let's launch into the actual game. Now the first main difference between Slay the Spire and Neoverse here is obviously the graphics. It actually has graphics, 3D models and such. Although I have to admit, I like the 2D models better. But this is actually pretty because you can actually look around. You can see the landscape, see the desolation, get a feel for the world you're in. You can also click on a unit to get a better look at them and the actions that they can do. Which I love that he's actually just named after his weapon instead of being a real person. You can also do the same thing to yourself? Huh, could have sworn. But yeah, this is how the game plays out. Every turn you start with a certain amount of mana, or energy, and you draw 5 cards. Now during that turn you can do anything you want as long as you have cards and the 5 mana. But Eternal Maggot, if you have 5 mana and every card costs 1, wouldn't that mean you just use up your entire hand? No. Because unlike Slay the Spire, when you use a card, it refills your hand so long as you can draw. So this could lead to some very, very interesting scenarios. There's a couple more mechanics that differentiate it from Slay the Spire. Weaken. Inflict 1 point of decay. Essentially cuts your attack by half. So let's see if we can kill before that, shall we? Alright. And boom. Also, this game has controller support for some reason. I don't really understand why. Ooh. Now, this is a constant card. This is essentially an aura. When you use it, as it says, it's consumed, it's gone. However, its ability stays around, and it's actually really good. Create a shoot card every turn. As you saw with Enhanced Magazine, it gives you a 0-cost attack card, essentially, that gives you overheat. At the same time, Aim Shot is also really good because it could give you more mana on the next turn and gives you 2 overheat. I think for this argument, I'm going to take the Infinite Mag. And then, now you have multiple choices. I think we're going to go with the harder battle here because I like the payoff a lot more. These 2 cards I require 2 or more mana. That's easy. And now we're dealing with a giant drill. The Drone Drilogy. I have several questions. I don't think I'm going to ask any of them. Instead, I'll just shore up as much as I can. Which I need one more. Then I can shooty bang. Oh yeah, it also comes with the lovely little thing, limited defense recovery. As long as you have armor left, it recovers 5 health. And you can also reset the camera anytime from that little button down there. Alright. It's about to do 1 damage 8 times. Again, there's a huge difference between those. And I can actually show one of the mechanics now. But before I do actually show you that, let me just show you. Yep, finished mission. I'll just keep doing a little bit of damage as well. because it... Oh, and it wasn't apparent, that's the overheat stack. As an overload cast to your hand whenever your overheat reaches 5. Overload, it does 1 damage to you. Now, the reason why it's good is not because of what it does, but what it can do for you with other cards. And watch. Parry. And now he is stunned for a turn because we took exact damage. And yes, this is true if we kill him with exact damage too. There's another mechanic, the battle tech, which apparently activates after 4 uses of blue. I still have no idea how that really works, so if you're coming here to figure that out, I cannot even help you. And you saw I picked up an item. You can have 3 right now at any given time, which they do certain effects. Super Ultra Castle is arguably one of the best ones you're ever going to get. Yeah, this is one of the cards I was talking about. Gain force and overheat for every overheat you have. This is one of those good ones where if you have 4 overheat, you have 4 force. Okay, now we come up here. Make sure to always check up here afterwards to actually get your mission reward. Of which... Jab jab. I wanted multiple arithmetic, so... Grab that. And cooling for now. Because they actually work well together. Didn't think that one through. Glad I kind of didn't. Grab thermodynamics, because +2 force whenever your overheat is triggered. Another good example. And I'll just reload the stock. Ooh, accelerated defense. Very nice. But now, win the battle without losing any HP, trigger a parry 1 time for 3 skill points, or use 10 cards during battle. I think I'm going to go with this one because the 3 skill points sounds more appealing at the moment. Ah, the drone black candy, the bad one. Which it comes with immunity 1, and to prove what immunity does, yeah. Alright. Well, I wonder if we're going to get a shot. I'm feeling reserve shot. Okay, always make sure to come up here and collect. Damage 2 times to remove a card. Now you might be wondering, why would you want to remove a card? Well, in harder difficulties, it's actually not a bad idea to thin out your pool, as well as you have the horrible fate of actually getting debilitating cards into your main pool. Sometimes you really need to get rid of them. Bad. But we're just going to go to Precision Trigger to evolve a card, which is to upgrade a card. Nice. Right. Side effects. +2 force to all enemies when this card goes into the used card pile. In other words, if you don't use this card, they get 2 strength. Which I don't feel like giving them a freebie. Of course, it looks like I'm going to have to give them a freebie anyways, because I can't get any more armor. This is why I kind of hope that there's going to be some reload cards later on. And another precision. Stealth kit. Nice. Slash. Let's take a moment to discuss that card, shall we? Slash. It's a 0 cost that deals 3 damage plus 1 overheat, so it's essentially a free attack. Especially in a deck that favors. Alright, boss battle. Precision triggered 3 times for the chance. Oh yeah, about to go against my own device. Again, I don't know why I latched onto this game so much, but I absolutely adore what this game has to offer. Oh yeah, and she also has defense off, remove the player's armor at the end of the turn. So if you like Slay the Spire, you know what that means. Let's go ahead and use Radioactive Bullet to give everyone even more radioactivity. Health, you basically take no damage that turn, but we're not in that point at the moment. When he's out on him, that'll drop him to 1 health. which means radioactive does the rest. And there's a possible, and I'm just gonna activate stealth kit. See, no damage. And this is why it's very important to note that it's not 5 damage, but 1 5 times. Another combo. Again, I have no idea how I trigger those. And stun. Again, it's these minor mechanics that really make this game shine in comparison to its competition. And I plan, as I said, I plan to do 1 run through each if I can for the first 3. 1 for every character. After that, I might be a little bit more picky. They could be special challenges and such. So, receive 1 of 3 of all defend cards as bottom without using instant cards, which that one's impossible with her. Clear a stage within 5 turns on an elite battle. You don't have to necessarily do it on the elite battle, and that's actually a good reward, so we're going with that. But yeah, I guess if you guys can guess what my favorite character is before the next episode is out. Well, it's quite simple what it is, but it'll be interesting to see if you guys can guess it. It's about to use Nightmare, which is just basically a blocker. Then Fear cannot use attack type cards. I hate this guy. Basically shut down my complete deck for the moment. Basically shut down my deck completely for the moment. Dying Force. Remove all armor from the player and gain 1 force every turn. In other words, he's going to start hitting hard, which is why I'm going to be focusing him down as much as I can. Again, their trigger. No idea how I do that. Okay, that's going to do 15 damage. Or 30 damage if you prefer. Now, if I leave him alone, he will die from precision, so that's not too bad. So I just gotta worry about the other guy right now. Explosive shot. I'm gonna hold off on that one for now. There we go. And he just locked down my deck again. But hey, at least I can actually do things this time. Not very productive things, but things. Ah, perfect damage. New card. Blade Shield. Let's go over all these constants, shall we, and why I immediately chose that one. Electromagnetic Field. 2 drop, create a random constant card and add the unstable tag to it at the beginning of every turn. That's pretty good. That is very good. Combat Training. Your attacks deal double damage on the next turn. That one's a little bit of a lag. Not a big fan of it, because it's very unpredictable. Unless you're running a lot of attack cards, which we are, but... Then you have Blade Shield. Deal 1 damage to all enemies whenever you play a defend card, which I realize this is the wrong character for this. Oops. Electromagnetic Field. Alright, now we can get basic Hunter cards with Hunter's Attack. What does this do? Basically makes all our attack cards into AoE effects instead. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our multiple arithmetic. Now we get 1 armor every time we play a card at all. Alright, so what should we focus on next? Monster Hunt, +2 to max HP whenever we start an elite battle. So wait, is this a permanent +2 every time? Heck, I'll take it. That's actually worth it because of the 0 drop. Wow. Other than that, there's nothing I really want here. So we'll roll. I'm not bothering with skill points. There's more things we can get. And this is not it. Do it in style with attaining 4 more overheat and using 1 of 3 of all defend cards. And of course, he's right there at the start. There we go. Oh! 2 of them. Yeah. I'll take those. Let's see. 12, 9, so 21. I'm not going to block all that regardless. Alright, oh right, multiple arithmetic. Oops. Completely forgot that was a thing. Even went out of my way to get it. You know, I'm not taking any risks. I was going to say to use the radioactive damage, but it's turn 5. Evolve all shooting cards in hand. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Evolve 2 random cards. Thermodynamics is down to 1. Good. These are ones to evolve. Yep. But yeah, as you can see, this game can get pretty nuts when it wants to. Still nothing I really want here, but I do want the skill point. Which we're at 3 now. Let's make that 4. Force feed. Which sadly is too late. Again with this guy. Although I haven't been doing this with every single one. Let's take a look at the Madman, shall we? I don't know why this is funny, but it's a nice little Easter egg. What does he do? Nobody knows. And something incredibly satisfying about that. It's like 3 radioactivity. Or when you close your... I think I'm going to take when you close your eyes, because there's a possibility that's slightly nasty, especially if you get more. Achieve a combo 3 times. So basically, gambling. Let's do it. Okay, she can summon other enemies, so we're going to deal with her first. There's combo number 1. Still no idea how I'm doing. I know it has something to do with the bottom down there, but I have no idea if it's going left or right whenever I add new cards. And I know I can probably just look at it if I, do this. That was a yellow. Where's the yellow? What if we activate another yellow? Still not there. Okay. What about a purple? And then there's the orange. You see what I mean? I don't understand. They need a better, clearer thing for that, because I have no idea. Perfect damage. Mission Impossible. You know, I was kind of hoping this would show up, because when it says deal 15 damage to everyone in battle, it means everyone, including yourself. You know what? I'll take it. I'm game for it. Defeat 2 or more enemies with a single attack. Evolve. Oh, yeah. That's definitely. Oh, look. We're finding Cthulhu. Huh. Neat. So, more hand guff. When used, a random hindrance card is added to your draw pile. And he can also summon more zealots. Because of course he can. He's bloody Cthulhu. At the end of every turn, select and retain a card. Now what retain does, as you can see there, cards stay in your hand at the end of the turn, so you can choose one to keep. That's actually a good effect. Hopefully I can make good use of it. Give everyone more radioactivity. Oh. Oh dear. I'm going to use that. I'm going to regret every minute of it, but I'm going to use that. Are you ready to see a boom? Luckily, you heal up after a boss battle on normal runs. Don't do that on higher runs, because you do not heal up. Wow, only had those? I had no other defense cards. There we go. Nothing I really want here, so roll. Fresh starts. It has promise, so it's always in your starting hand. This is such a good card. But I think I'm going to grab... Yeah, I'm going to grab that. I like that card. Gain overheat equal to the damage received instead of losing HP this turn. This is a really good card, especially since we're playing so, yeah. So we'll do the first one. I just want to take a moment to look at this background. Looks like someplace Naya would actually be. Very nice. And of course they sent the bees! And Cybertron. But who cares about Cybertron? It's back. But I think we're going to go for the perfect damage. And I love that slight pause with the final shot, as if... So satisfying. Alright, we were trying to use 3 defense cards in one turn, weren't we? Fine. 2. How many cards are in this deck? Okay. So I guess we're just being denied the last one, aren't we? Fine, have it your way. Yep, Elite Battle. Now we get to see if it's actually... Yep, it's +2 every time, apparently. Ew. We're going to have to be very careful about armor. I should probably focus the other guy down. It's a shame that it gets consumed, otherwise I would drop it immediately. Oh, wow, we have enough shields. We have enough shields, crap. Is there any way to damage my own shields? Apparently not. Yeah. These cards. These are the bane of everyone's existence in this game. Shackles. Because there's one for every card type. In this case, we got lucky and they used the wrong card type. Yeah, no idea how I'm triggering those. Another electromagnetic field. So we got an unstable with an unstable. Alright, I can dig it. Okay, that's 3 times in a row with that. There are other gun abilities, game. Russian Roulette. Every shooting card used during the turn reduces the mana cost of this by 1. Deal 2 damage to all enemies 3 times. But right now it's 7 times 3. Oh. Alright, let's go to the shop real quick to see if there's anything that can give me force. There is Amplify, which increases how much damage they take. But do I really need it? I use it up if I need that. There we go. Alright, and this one. Deal 1 damage whenever a debuff is inflicted on your target. We don't do that enough. Attack deal. Use 3 legendary cure cards during a battle to get evolve a card. Yep, I'll take that. The bees! Carcinogen. Another hindrance, but I think because this one's a 2 or more, it actually helps me here. That's the one I was talking about. It's high cost. Okay. I just didn't have it out yet. Yeah, if I had that activated originally and then used the carcinogen, it would have actually hurt them. So they would have just been helping me. It's gonna die before I have the last one of either one. Oh, cruel fate! Let's go ahead and put promise on that so it's in our starting hand every single time. Go to the data store and I actually like this card. Create 5 and keep 1. It's really good. Time to see if this is actually permanent and use 5 attack cards in 1 turn. I mean, unlike the other ones, that's not too hard. Use Slayer's Chainsaw. Shuffle, buff removal. You lose all buffs when you shuffle your deck. Ugh. Well, that's annoying. Like 1 radioactivity to all enemies at the beginning of every turn. Perfect. Pop that. And remember, because we got Slayer's Chainsaw, these help us. So this might be where the run ends, because we cannot get enough. I have a horrible idea. And by horrible, I mean amazing! Well. Yes. We have a force generator. We're above half health. We actually have a good amount of health right now. And we're going to try to gamble. It did not pay out. Don't gamble, kids. And here we go. Into the final battle. Ooh! I haven't seen this one. Cyclo. Well, he's immune, starting out. Auto repair, whenever you use damage from an attack card. Ugh. Add malware card to the player's deck for every 10 cards played. And radioactive. Or that's what's on him right now. And there went Mission Impossible. Restart the stage. Your current gold... no. No, we're not going to win this one because we just didn't get a good enough build. And that was our first run of Slay the Spire with Naya. She's good if you get the right cards. I just wasn't getting anything really worth a damn by the end there. And when I did, they weren't together at the same time. However, I hope you enjoyed this episode. The next one, we're going to be launching into Claire. Have a good one.